Hello, my name is Miss Mosier, and I'll be your child's first grade teacher this year. I'm excited to get to know your child and you. I wanted to list my contact information. Like I said, my name is Miss Mosier. We are located in room 1B. I have my email listed, so feel free to contact me with any questions you may have. And my website, which has our class schedule and other things that we may need to know throughout the school year listed. I wanted to thank you for coming today, and I hope to answer any questions that you have regarding the upcoming school year. I wanted to take the time we have here today to discuss what we'll be doing in our math section. Yes, I know math can be a scary and intimidating subject, and I'm not going to lie, when I was in school, math scared me too. At the beginning, math was not one of my strongest subjects, but that just meant I had to sit down and practice the content. I asked questions when needed, and the teachers who helped me when I needed it. I want to be that individual for your child. So if your child is nervous about math, I want to promise them that as a class, we are going to climb the mountains together. And to do this, we need parents and student involvement. In this class, we are going to be doing a new skill called Math Talk. Math Talk is where students solve problems, and I will ask him or her or other students in the class to answer questions. I will ask them how they solved it, and depending on their reasoning, I will then base the other questions around it. I could also ask the students to use the word to repeat, which is just asking another student to reword in their own words, discuss what the previous student said. So for example, Johnny, can you repeat using in your own words what Sally just explained that the answer of 2 plus 2 is? I can use other math talk words such as agree or disagree, which is just asking the students if they agree with 4 for the answer or if they disagree with 4 of the answer. Another one is adding on, which is just asking Sally, can you please add on to your reasoning? Revoice, which is just me asking a student saying, so are you saying that since 2 plus 2 equals 4? And they will say yes, just to make sure I understand what they're talking about. And one of the most important ones, because they're all important, is wait time, which is just me giving students time to think about how they're going to solve the problem. Next, another thing we'll be doing is problem solving. We will be using the 3-Act Math, which is a program designed by Dan Meyer. He just wants to give students real world situations and problems and doesn't really like textbooks. And so he wants to have the students think outside the box. So the URL is listed, and the gentleman in the picture is Dan Meyer. And I really like it because it makes them, like I said before, think outside the box and not thinking only strategically from the textbook. To go off using Dan Meyer's website, we'll be using another website that has you estimate different problems such as how tall an individual is, and you can put in guesses and you can see other people's guesses. It's just a real nice website for students to become familiar with estimating different situations. So also to go off back with technology is we are blessed to have a class set of iPads, and we'll be using them a lot. And different apps that we will be using are Exploding Math, Show Me, and Kahoot. I really like Show Me because I can give the student a problem and they can record their steps on how they do it, and then they can send me the video and I can watch them. Kahoot is ones that I can make up a quick quiz or a little game and they can answer questions, and it's kind of like a competition, and it times them and seeing who can get the most points. Websites that we'll be using is Khan Academy and Edpuzzle. Khan Academy is a website where students take pretest, and then over math or other subjects they can use it too. They'll take a pretest over questions, and then Khan Academy will divvy up the questions that they feel like they need practice on and whatnot. Edpuzzle is really nice because you can get a video, record a video, pick a video, and then it stops at certain points and asks students questions. And I kind of like this for like our flipped classroom where they'll go home, watch the video, ask questions, and then we can come back the next day and do problems together and see where we have questions. And with Edpuzzle also, students can't go to different tabs and view it. They have to stay on that one tab to view it, and that's what I also really like about it. An assessment that we'll be doing, we'll be using Edpuzzle because I can view what parts that they didn't view the video or questions that they could have got wrong. Kahoot, group activities, projects, observations. I'm really set on doing summative assessments for like projects and maybe a couple tests here and there just to see if they understand the content and whatnot. So many of you, I'm assuming, are worried about the Common Core standards. Some of you may think it's a waste of time, and the way you learned it, how to do certain problems, is more beneficial to your child. And I completely understand. But what I like about Common Core, it just expands child's horizons. They think of more ways to do different problems. They're not set on one specific way. And it makes sure that they reach certain benchmarks for each grade. It's just like climbing a ladder. You gotta finish going on one step to move on to the next step, and then the next step. What I also like about Common Core is that each standard gets harder at each grade level. So they'll still be covering the same. So like for example in math, kindergarten, they learned counting numbers from 1 to 20, and then in first grade, that standard just gets harder each. And before you know it, they'll be counting everything. I also want to send home monthly newsletters so you know what your child is learning. And I also want them to take home weekly folders of projects and papers that they could have done, so you can see firsthand on what your child is doing in our class. Now I want to take this moment to answer any questions that you may have. Good question. The question was that they heard that they're thinking about getting rid of the Common Core standards, and if I think that they should. Personally, no, I do not think they should get rid of the Common Core standards because it allows students to reach different benchmarks before they can move on to the next one. And I think the great thing about Common Core standards is that each standard is much harder each year. So like I said before, in kindergarten, they learn how to read, write, and count numbers 0 to 20. And then in first grade, they move up to maybe, I don't know exactly, like 50. And then it just keeps getting harder and harder before they can pass on. They have to pass and meet that objective. The next question was, do students still have to learn their multiplication tables? That's a good question. Yes, they'll still need to learn their multiplication tables, but we will practice that. So they do not have to know all of their multiplication tables at this moment, but we are going to continue to work on it and help the process of learning all of them much easier. So no, not in first grade, they do not have to know 9 times 10 is 90 at this exact moment. And I found this quote that I would like to share, kind of sprucing it up because I know math can be, like I said, scary and intimidating and not a very fun topic. And so, and it talks about ice cream, and I love ice cream, so I just thought it was kind of fun to share. Math is like ice cream, with more flavors than you can imagine. And if all your child ever do is textbook math, that's like feeding them broccoli flavored ice cream. And that's by Denise Goskin. And what that means to me is if all they do in the classroom is just do textbook math and do problems and all that stuff and just learn the procedures on how to do 2 plus 2 or 4 plus 6, then that's all they're doing is feeding them boring, so in my point of view, gross broccoli flavored flavored ice cream. I'd rather them do problem solving and math talks and just expand the horizon. And that is it. Thank you for coming today.